Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. And so, last time we spoke to Oya, the journalist, and we actually got a name, so we now know the name of the mafia boss who's been doing all this bad shit to these kids. So that means we actually have a way forward at this point. We can actually try and find out who this guy is and find out his if he's got a palace.
And just as expected, it's a hit.
And so that's what we're going to be doing in this part. We're going to be finding a way. My apologies. We're going to be trying to find a way forward to enter Kaneshiro's palace and finish this prick off once for all.
Oh, it's gonna be impossible. How many buildings do you think there are in Shibuya?
So yeah, we need to shrink down the possibilities at this point. So we know Kaneshiro has a palace, we need to find out what it is and what he sees it as. So that's what we're going to be doing at this point.
He likes money, so
Motherfucker.
I've seen people online with things like that.
Never heard of that before. Never heard of a money bath.
Close. How about it? Can you think of anything? I see.
How about a bank?
Okay, that's a hit.
We have a bank. We have a hit. So he thinks of somewhere in the city as his own bank.
Something less realistic. That's all it is, huh? Now then, what location would Kaneshiro think of?
By the way, the answer is actually pretty damn. I think it's pretty damn obvious, but I didn't really get it when I first played the game.
His cognition wouldn't be distorted in that case.
Damn it, we ain't getting anywhere.
That's true. It'd have to change.
This may be difficult to explain, but doesn't it seem we're thinking a little too inside the box? Palaces emanate a passionate madness.
Maybe a bit.
It feels as though we're missing that aspect.
The hell are you talking about?
Well done, Yusuke.
Palace is a bank.
How about getting just closer to the answer, eh, buddy?
But what other ways can we think about it? Oh, could it mean a place you withdraw money? Hold on. Do you think it might have something to do with the victims? He's taking money from his victims' wallets, right? That means his bank is wherever they are. That's terrible.
Morgana's getting close to it.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Morgana's getting
How many
close.
people do you think Kaneshiro's taken advantage of in all of Shibuya?
Wait a second. I have a hit.
There you go. The place he thinks of a bank is the entire city of Shibuya.
The place that Kaneshiro thinks
Which
of as a bank
kind of obvious when you think about it.
all
The
of
fact that,
Shibuya.
you know, it's on the streets of Shibuya, where he is talking, where he's
his victims are.
dealing with his victims, dealing with the, you know, the kids from the high school.
But wait,
So it would make sense that he thinks of the entire city as like his personal piggy bank.
Nobody notices if a piece
So
of trash disappears
yeah,
from
but
the
it's one of those
trash
things
can.
I don't think.
In that
It's my
case,
big problem.
let's go.
And so I didn't get that until it was actually brought up. But it does make a lot of sense when you think about it. But now that means we are able to find out. We're able to head off to find
what are
Kaneshiro's
those?
palace.
Walking ATMs. That must be
And I
his
think
cognition of
this is quite kind
This
of
is what Kaneshiro considers a
what's the word I'm
bank.
thinking of? It's quite on the nose, I suppose, but it is quite a cool little image
Around
of
us.
like people
The
being,
distortion is
you know,
affecting
his
the whole
cognition of
Shibuya.
people being walking ATMs, people he can,
What do you mean?
you know,
Oh, that's right. Even
you
when
can
we were
take
in the
advantage
castle
of.
and the museum, the city outside
something
was
else which I
normal.
kind of like as well is that when you're in
Sees
on the
everyone
ground
in
floor, you see
Shibuya
like
as his patron.
money kind of floating through the ground like it's been sucked towards somewhere. That's a pretty cool
It's best
little
we focus on finding
attention to
Kaneshiro's
detail and kind of a
location
cool
and stealing his
aesthetic
treasure as
thing,
soon as
which I kind of like.
Yeah, his hideout's got to be somewhere around here. Let's go look for it.
So that's what we're doing now. We've found out that the whole of Shibuya is his little
Okay, let's go.
is his palace. We need to find his base of operations. So let's head off.
Hey,
This, I don't know why, but I found... Sorry. I found this kind of disturbing. Like, this whole concept of what, you know, of him being kind of destroyed kind of here. Like, this absolutely knackered ATM machine. It's kind of disturbing.
Perhaps.
I find it kind of disturbing, to be honest.
No.
And this even more so, kind of the people just lying on their sides. I think it's because you kind of get they hit it on the head quite dramatically, quite a lot. That, you know, it's
Joker.
these are real people who are really being affected by Kaneshiro and his bullshit. And I just think the fact that, you know, they're so... I think it's the visual element of how bad they look.
Hey.
Sorry, combined with just the fact that there's so many of them, it's horror. It's, you know, it's just something I find kind
What
of
do you mean?
creepy and disturbing. It's something I don't like. Yeah, you know, I find this kind of like I say, disturbing and very dark. I don't, you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of, you could consider it a silly aesthetic, but I find it kind of dark and depressing. That makes sense.
No.
Have you thought about looking up, boys and girls? And so, yeah, first of all, that's his base of operations, a giant floating bank in the sky, sucking up all the money and directly into it from the ground below.
Figures it'd be floating.
It's an absolutely fucking amazing...
So, how do we get up there?
I think it's an amazing
Can we turn it into a helicopter
aesthetical
like that?
choice. It just looks great.
No.
It looks amazing.
Just a car.
And of course, this is the first time really
Come
that
on, don't you have some kind of secret gadget
they
or
really
something?
have a problem
Shut it. I'm not some
kind of
robot cat.
getting
I mean,
to
I'm not a cat at all.
a palace.
Maybe the limit
It's
of
the
what
first
we
time
can
that they
do
really
together.
have an issue trying to get to
Gotta find
a
way to
palace
get
to
up there.
kind of
We'll have to
infiltrate
think
it
about
and
some more
deal with it.
tomorrow, okay?
And
Alright,
it's
we should
it's
get outta
also
here for
also
now.
a thing here
Run
where
for it.
it seems kind of 90% of the way there, yet that last 10% is really kind of depressing and disappointing. And it seems kind of, oh my god, what are we going to be able to, you know, what are we going to be able to do here? So yeah. Oh, he's talking about us now, and he has apparently a lot of shady connections. So yeah, this is going to be bad.
Man,
We've got to deal with a bad guy. So yeah, at this point, it kind of doesn't, even though
I've been
90% of it,
thinking lately
it's
about
90% of the way
those
there,
names
there
you
doesn't seem to be a clear way
If Dad
forward at
were
this point to
still
kind of
alive-
get up there, which is kind of a
sorry.
cool and
I
interesting
shouldn't bring
place to
this
be
up
in
while we're eating.
after the previous
It's okay.
ones.
Keep going.
I just wonder if he would have been on their side. That's all.
The only reason you have time to think about that is because you depend on someone else.
That's not.
You don't have to do a single thing, and you're provided with food, clothes, a home. I've had no time to think on such ridiculous thoughts. Would Dad have been happy with them? I don't care. He died upholding some lofty sense of righteousness, leaving all his responsibilities on us.
I love the
What
acting
I was
voice acting
trying
here
to
from
say
Sai, actually.
was-
It's really good
Isn't
acting.
it about time you grew up and acknowledged our situation? Right now, you're useless to me. All you do is eat away at my life.
And this is kind of,
Sorry.
this is a,
That was uncalled for. I'm just really tired. I'll be eating
yeah,
dinner
this
out
moment
from
is
tomorrow.
kind of, I think this is the kind of the final moment, because something happens with Makoto pretty soon, actually, in the next, you know, the next thing with Makoto is quite a big thing that happens. And I think this is kind of like the big pushing moment. It's kind of really push her on the edge to try and force her to do
Are we
something
out of luck?
nuts.
It's no
You know
fair
what I
this
mean? So
palace
it's
is up in the sky.
I like it, but
If
I
only we
kind of
contacted the
feel
real
like
Kaneshiro.
at that point you kind of feel like, okay, sorry, you're being a bit of
What
a
do you want?
over the top, being a bit of a bitch.
Nothing else,
Stop it now, please.
Just saw you all together here.
Huh, that's so.
You seem to be having quite a bit of trouble. So you're here to check up on us? You may be the student council president, but when it comes to what we do, you're useless. Useless?
Wrong choice of words there, Anne.
All you do is
Yeah, this
eat
is kind of
away
what
my life.
pushes her over the edge to kind of be like, okay, you think I'm fucking
To be
useless?
frank, yes.
I'm gonna show you
Just
that
stay on
I'm
your
going
high
to.
horse and
I'm gonna
watch.
show you what I can
Or do you
do.
want to eavesdrop since you're so good at it?
And Anne here has been a bit of a bitch as
You wish
well.
to get
She's
in contact
been a
with
bit.
Kaneshiro.
I think she's being a little
That
bit
is
of
what we were
hard,
just
a little bit
discussing,
harsh
weren't you?
to
Seemed you
Makoto a
just
bit
needed
here,
to find
but
out where he is.
kind of pushes her into the direction that's needed to push forward.
Hey, you don't gotta answer her honestly. So you're just the type
Well, I did.
Right now, you're useless.
But it does make sense actually that she's just had all these things being pushed on her,
What was that?
all these pressures being,
Fine. I'll help you.
all
meet
these
Kaneshiro.
pressures kind of being forced upon her, and
What exactly
finally
is she planning
it-
on doing?
this is her kind of
She had a
fucking
dead serious
snapping,
look in her
which I-
eyes.
Does this mean
it
she
does
has
make
an
sense.
idea
I
as to where
do,
Kaneshiro
it's
may
a
be?
nice bit of character
I highly doubt
thing
that.
for Makoto here.
I didn't like her stern face.
Although actually thinking about it now, at this point they don't really know what she's been going through, and I think if at this point she'd actually just
There are way too many people
said
here.
what was on her mind and just kind of talked about it, then
We're
maybe
never gonna find her.
they wouldn't get into the situation that they're going to find themselves in a matter of minutes.
Makoto Nijima. Just stay on the phone and listen. Make sure you record the call as well.
Huh? Who is it?
What the shit?
Do you guys know Kaneshiro?
What? That idiot! What's she
Yeah,
doing?
this is
I heard I could
Yeah,
find
this is
someone
pretty
named
fucking dumb.
Kaneshiro if I came to Central
She's
Street.
putting herself in a lot of
Central
danger here.
Street.
This is kind of
being too
completely and
rash.
utterly stupid.
What are you getting at?
We need to find a
Blackmailing the students
quick,
at Shingen Academy, is he not?
menacing
Well, if he
man.
doesn't want me talking to the
I don't find
police
him that
about it,
menacing. He looks
he
like a
better
bit of
agree to meet
a
with me.
douchebag, to be honest.
You gotta
Oh god, you
definitely
had to mention the
yourself.
police, didn't you, dude? Pierced man. Oh my god.
He says he'll meet you. Get in.
You better be taking me to Kaneshiro.
This must be Bob. This is Kaneshiro's Bob.
Fuck in.
Language. And here we go.
Wasn't that?
It's the guys that messed with us the other day. So they were connected to Kaneshiro.
Damn right.
She's still on?
Time to chase after her, I think.
Contact Kaneshiro-san. Tell him we got a good one.
Where are we going?
Yeah, I guess
Uh-oh.
we can't do anything to her if she's Kaneshiro-san's customer.
Hey, I asked a question here. Where are we going?
We gotta go after him.
Damn. This is not looking good for Makoto.
Ryuji, get a taxi. I'll...
Damn, you should have been looking.
Okay, I've got their license plate. My sketching skills will come in handy.
Well done, Yusuke. You're actually useful in
Shit,
this
he
part.
ignored me.
Cheers, dude. I love that animation, though. That's pretty good animation.
Ryuji!
Hurry up and get in.
Usually you're being a bit of a prick there. Bit of a dumbass. Could have got yourself killed there, buddy.
So, you're seriously the
And
student
finally we
council
get to see
president of
Kaneshiro,
Shinji?
who's
You know what happens to anyone who snaps at me, don't you?
very pig-like,
So,
I think.
whose number is this?
Looks kind of like a
Your
pig.
boyfriend?
And
What in the world?
definitely looks like a douche. Look at that
Who
asshole.
the fuck are you? Need
Yeah,
you
this
both
I've found kind
What the hell did you
of.
do to her?
I don't know.
I get it.
It's
You got followed, you dumb shits.
this I found kind of scary and dark. That's Persona for you.
Holy moly!
Look at all that cash.
The bag you saw the other day, the crocodile one. How much was it?
About 3 million.
That's yen, by the way. That'd be if that was £3 million or dollars. That'd be a fucking ridiculously expensive bag.
I'm royally pissed right now. Can you
I don't know
tell?
what that is the equivalent to. It's
You know how
probably the
spending
equivalent to
money
like
relieves stress?
3,000
It's you
bucks or
goddamn
something like
brats
that.
sniffing around like
Maybe
dogs,
$30,000.
barging in here like you own the joint. See this empty space? I'm so
I will say
pissed.
as well that I really
Now
like his
there's a
voice
3
actor.
million
I don't know who he
yen
is,
gap
but
here.
man, he
Pisses
gives a
me
good
off even
performance
more if I don't
of
fill it
kind
up.
of being
I'm a perfectionist, so good luck.
like I like how
What is
the
that supposed
sneer
to
in his
mean?
voice and how kind of what's the word I'm looking for? He
Come on,
kind of
you all look so
calm
tense.
yet
I think I'll call it.
kind of
debauchery of
menacing.
minors
I
at a
like
club.
that. It's great.
So, can I send this to your school?
That's...
Oh damn! I got booze and cigs in the
Oh fuck.
shop. Maybe some drugs.
So now we're all on the hook. And if we get caught,
This is
and
so
if he
hilarious.
sends that to the
I
school, we
feed on
get caught,
dumb shit like you. Understand?
we're going to jail.
Student council president. Now listen up.
Fuck. Makoto's got us into quite the fix here,
And I'll
man.
break all of you, starting with your families. I want to give you the usual month, but well, you have such a large group here. 3 weeks. Bring 3 million yen by then, no less.
So he wants us to
Summer
bring him
bonuses
3 million
are around
yen
the
in
corner,
3
you know.
weeks. It's
It'll be
obvious here that
easy if
it's
you beg
just
your
like
mommies and daddies.
he's doing one thing or the other. It's either
Now get
he's
out of my
gonna he
sight.
intends to send the
I'm
stuff
about to have some
the
fun.
photos off
What? To hell with that!
to the authorities,
Don't bother with him.
or from the
Makoto's
start,
safety is more
or it's
important right
that he wants us to kind of work for him for good, if you know what I mean. It's either one or the other. So yeah, we're in seriously deep shit now. We're in serious trouble.
I'm so sorry. I didn't
What
mean to
the
drag
hell?
you in like this.
For real.
I was stupid.
I must agree. You should have easily imagined this happening.
Hey,
Yeah, but
Yusuke,
it's kind of like at
you're
this
so
point that
caught
you
up
kind
in
of
trying to be useful.
yeah, Yusuke's kind of blunt.
Alright, enough of the blame.
But you kind of understand
Done is
at this
done.
point with all the
You
shit that
have
she's
to
kind of gone
persist,
through
too.
and the kind of stuff that she's
Sis?
been
My
that's
older
been
sister
pushed
has a
upon her.
commendable
She kind of
job, and
understands what's
she's a
going
much more
on.
remarkable person than me.
You
A
know,
lot
she,
happened
you
after we lost
understand
our
why
father 3
she
years ago.
reacted in the way that she
So it's
did.
just us.
So it's not, you know,
I'm still
you
a
don't like
child,
completely blame
so all I
her.
am is a burden to her.
And that's why you were so reckless?
I just wanted to be useful.
And now
in
at this
some
point is
way
when
to
she finally opens
someone.
up and starts to say
You know,
all
I
the stuff
might not
that's
get your
bothering
whole
her.
situation, but
If she'd done this a
you get
few
off saying that
a
she's
few
useless
minutes
to
ago,
her?
we would have been fine.
It's the truth, though. In particular, I have to apologize for what happened to you. Now that I think on it, the truth about Kamoshida must have been covered up by the whole school. I had my suspicions, but I couldn't do anything about it. No, I didn't do anything. Had I cared enough, I could have done something. People like me must really be what others call scum of the earth. Real
Yeah,
scum
she's going a
wouldn't
bit
call
overboard.
themselves that.
Kind of bad mouthing herself
I'm just saying,
so badly here.
it's just like you said before. I was closest to Shiho, but
And this is
couldn't
kind of the
do
moment
anything.
where Ann and
Besides,
Makoto kind
Kamoshida's the
of bond a
one to
little
blame.
bit.
Shiho
Kind of
understands that.
have the
I do
same
too.
kind of outlook when it comes to what
Kamaki-san.
happened with Shiho and the whole
Didn't
Kamoshida
have a
thing.
place to belong either.
That they both feel as if
Wasn't
they
that
could have
right?
done something more, but they didn't
Me
uh,
either?
have the
He
courage,
won't
I
let
guess,
anyone
to
fall
kind of
victim again.
to
Now, what
try
should
and
we
really
from
do
here?
something about it.
I'll
So
do
it's kind of
something about
interesting.
the
It's
money.
kind of a nice
So can
little
we
dynamic,
please
I
just
think.
drop
There.
the case with Kaneshiro?
No can do. We're all caught up.
Fuck
in this.
no, this isn't what's going to
I
happen.
can't have you rushing things on your own anymore and making the situation worse.
If only we could do something about that bank.
Ryuji!
Bank?
Ryuji, for fuck's sake, Ryuji. You keep opening your big mouth, you
She
fucker.
isn't useless at all. She may be our key in. Hear me out, you guys.
Our key in? What do you mean?
A cat?
Yeah, so this is kind of the thing where
Are you
her
okay?
making
We've become
the kind
Kaneshiro's
of
targets.
her
That
making the
means we've become
big
customers
kind
of
of
Kaneshiro's
fuck up that
bank.
she does enables us to get into
The reason why we couldn't enter before was
sorry.
because we weren't considered
enables
its
us to get into
customers.
Kaneshiro's
And wouldn't
palace.
you say that she in particular is
So,
a
you
special
know,
customer?
she's
Let's
pretty
take her with
useful.
us. She is responsible for our current situation.
Whoa, I don't follow.
So now
this
what
at
we're going to
all.
do is we're going to show
She
Makoto
risked her life doing something so
the other
reckless.
world.
At the very least, she
Time
has
for us
the
to
right
go.
know. Won't you come with us?
What? Wait, to where?
Yeah, where are we going?
Beats me.
Ryuji! Jesus Christ! Oh, Ryuji and Ann, you're both thick as pig shit. Gonna go into the other world to find out what's going on with the bank.
A canine?
It's Fox.
Be quiet. The shadows are going to notice us.
I love you, Scalar.
A monster cat? I'm not.
That's Morgana, the cat that was in his bag. This is what
Morgana.
happens when we come here.
That voice. Takamaki-san? Where are we?
We're inside Kaneshiro's, well, the world inside his heart.
What?
Try to explain
It's
this one,
another
eh?
reality in which Kaneshiro's distorted desires have materialized.
Another reality? It's floating in the air. This is reality?
Once again, here I love Makoto's voice actress here. She's so good,
I'm sorry. It's
so
just-
believable.
But since this really exists, I can't doubt it. A reality that one's heart shows.
Well, yeah, you're
Is
really
it
here.
like the application of optical illusions in social cognitive psychology?
That's something we have no idea
Of course,
about.
Makoto gets it straight away.
I see. So stealing one's heart, that may be like overriding their cognition. I think I kind of get the logic behind it.
Ain't she more amazing than you?
Yeah, Morgana's kind of like, holy
We're
shit,
about
she
the
knows her stuff.
same. Then does that mean there's an
Morgana's a
ATM
bit
version of
defensive.
myself somewhere in this world too?
Perhaps. Regardless, we can change Kaneshiro's heart and make him confess if we steal his treasure. If it all goes well, that is.
And now we have a way
We'll
in,
make it
so
go
we can
well.
actually do that.
Everyone will notice us for sure if we take someone like Kaneshiro down.
Our justice will also become resolute.
Think we'd be able to give courage to those in need if it happens?
For the sake of those in need, huh? You sound like my father.
Your father?
No, don't mind me. You want to go to that bank, right? Let's go then. If I've become a customer of that bank, then they'll have to let me in.
So yeah, we're now going to be heading off to the bank, now that we've got Makoto in
It came
tow.
to us.
It's
I love
just
that
as I
animation as well.
calculated.
It's such a good animation. I just love this. I love this dungeon, actually. This dungeon's really good. But anyway, that's it for this part of Persona 5. Join me next time. We'll be heading into Kaneshiro's palace, and we'll also be witnessing Makoto's awakening, and she's finally going to get her persona, and it's one of the most badass scenes in the whole fucking game. So I'll see you next time for the next part of Persona 5. See you next time.